Marc Marquez's 2025 season did more than crown a champion. It reshaped MotoGP's narrative, altered its competitive gravity, and reignited debates that many believed were settled forever. After years of uncertainty, injury, and doubt, Marquez didn't simply return, he dominated. And in doing so, he placed Valentino Rossi's most iconic MotoGP records firmly under threat heading into 26. What made 2025 extraordinary was not just the scale of Marc's success, but the timing, context, and consequence. 6 years after his last title in 2019 and 5 years after the arm injury that nearly ended his career, Marquez re-emerged as the central figure of the sport. 11 Grand Prix wins, 14 sprint victories, and total control of the championship narrative with Ducati turned his comeback into one of the most significant in motorsport history. At 32 years old, Marquez became the oldest rider to win a Premier Class title in the modern MotoGP era. More importantly, that title brought him level with Valentino Rossi. 7 MotoGP championships, 9 world titles overall. For a rivalry that once defined an entire generation, history had come full circle. But the deeper story of 2025 wasn't only about numbers, it was about impact. Attendance surged, global attention increased, and MotoGP's relevance expanded beyond its traditional audience. According to Jorge Lorenzo's father, Chicho Lorenzo, Marc's dominance played a decisive role in that transformation. The importance of Marc Marquez in the sport nowadays is unquestionable. Everything revolves around him, Chicho said. Even his rivals are comfortable that Marc has started winning again with such superiority because of the anticipation he has generated even among those who don't follow the sport. That comfort, paradoxical as it sounds, reveals something fundamental. Marquez's presence doesn't just intimidate rivals, it elevates the entire ecosystem. Chicho Lorenzo went even further, linking Marquez directly to MotoGP's growing global appeal. It has made MotoGP more important globally. It has attracted more attention, and more sponsors are eager to enter the circus. From a technical standpoint, Marc's dominance defies easy categorization. He isn't a rider built on robotic precision or repeatable perfection. Instead, his genius lies in controlled chaos, an ability to improvise at the limit. On a technical level, Marquez is unclassifiable, Chicho explained. He is not refined, repetitive, robotic like Dani Pedrosa or Jorge Lorenzo, but his creativity has no limits, and he always manages to set great times. That creativity is precisely what unsettles his rivals. Marquez thrives where others seek stability. He enjoys riding on the edge, bending the bike, the tires, and even race strategy to his will. Moreover, he likes to play with the limits, and that's something more riders hate, Chicho added. If you add to that his work attitude and intelligence, the result is a rider who is not only marking an era, but also setting the bar at the highest level in history. The implications of that statement stretch well beyond 2025. Because if Marquez has already set the bar at its highest point, then 2026 isn't just another title defense. It's a potential rewriting of MotoGP history. Before shifting fully to Rossi's endangered records, it's impossible to ignore the machinery that enabled this resurgence. Ducati's 2025 season was historic in its own right, and no one articulated that better than Gigi. Despite losing Pramac to Yamaha and reducing its grid presence from 8 bikes to 6, Ducati still delivered absolute domination. Marc's arrival proved decisive. Ducati didn't just win races, they controlled championships. Marquez claimed 25 victories across Grand Prix and sprints before injury sidelined him late in the season. Even then, the damage was done. Ducati wrapped up all 3 titles with races to spare. They finished 350 points clear of Aprilia in the constructors' standings and locked out the top 3 in the team's championship. For Gigi, however, raw dominance wasn't the most meaningful achievement. But I would say 4 rider titles in a row with 3 different riders, he said. It's definitely something for an engineer. I would say it's something important. Yes, something I will enjoy remembering in the future. That statement reveals Ducati's true strength, adaptability. And that adaptability makes Marquez's position heading into 22-6 even more dangerous for the record books. This is where the conversation inevitably shifts. Because 2026 is not just another season, it is the moment when Valentino Rossi's statistical legacy faces its most serious threat. With 9 world titles apiece, Marquez and Rossi now stand shoulder to shoulder. A 10th championship would push Marquez ahead numerically, delivering a psychological and historical blow that no amount of nostalgia could soften. In MotoGP titles alone, both riders sit at 7. Another crown would make Marquez the most successful rider in the Premier Class era, breaking a tie that has defined the modern sport. Age adds another layer. Rossi's back-to-back titles in 2008 and 2009 came at ages 29 and 30. Marquez is already the oldest MotoGP champion at 32. If he retains the title in 2026, he becomes the oldest back-to-back champion in Premier Class history, taking yet another record from Rossi. Then there are race wins, the most emotionally charged metric of all. Across all classes, Rossi holds 115 Grand Prix victories. Marquez sits on 99. The gap is 16. On paper, it's daunting. In reality, it's achievable. Marquez won over 61% of the races he started in 2025. To equal Rossi in 2026, he would need to win 16 of 22 races, around 73%. That sounds extreme until history intervenes. In 2014, Marquez won 13 of 18 races, a 72.2% win rate. The precedent exists. In MotoGP wins alone, Rossi leads with 89 victories to Marc's 73. Again, the same math applies. 16 wins to equal 17 to surpass. A record-breaking season either way. Fastest laps represent another realistic target. Rossi leads 76 to Marc's 72. That margin could disappear within weeks, not seasons. Front row starts, race leadership across multiple Grand Prix and circuit-specific dominance, particularly at Sachsenring, also present opportunities for Marc to carve out new historical benchmarks. A 10th Sachsenring win would place him alongside Giacomo Agostini as the only riders to achieve double-digit victories at a single Premier Class venue. Yet not every Rossi record is under threat. Some stand as monuments to longevity rather than dominance. Podiums remain untouchable for now. Rossi's 235 podium finishes across all classes tower over Marc's 165. A 71 podium gap cannot be closed in a single season or even several. The same applies in MotoGP alone. 199 podiums for Rossi, 126 for Marquez. These numbers reflect two different careers. Rossi's was built on extraordinary consistency across decades. Marquez's is defined by intensity, peaks, and eras of overwhelming superiority. That distinction matters because history is not only written by totals, but by moments. As 22-6 approaches, MotoGP stands at a crossroads. Marc Marquez is no longer chasing redemption, he's chasing immortality. His rivals know it, Ducati knows it, and the sport itself feels the gravitational pull. Chicho Lorenzo's final words echo louder with every passing race weekend. "I just hope the fans appreciate and enjoy him because one day he will be missed. Valentino Rossi's legacy will never disappear, but legacies evolve." And in 2026, for the first time, MotoGP faces the possibility that its most sacred records may belong to someone else. The question is no longer if Marquez can threaten Rossi's numbers. The question is how many he chooses to take and how history will remember the moment when MotoGP's balance of power finally shifted. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for new upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.